The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to the show. This is the XFL. Oh, no, it is no longer the XFL. This is the X Fan Show. I am one of your hosts, Dirty, and soon Arlington will be joining us. If you guys want to join us, here is the thing. We are at week 9. Everything is starting to really get very, very interesting in this, as the mayor says right here, closest odd for the games this season, -1 point. You're absolutely correct. It is starting to become very, very interesting. Oh, and here he is joining us, my partner in crime, the one, the only, the A-Train himself. What is up, my brother?
What's good, man? Good afternoon, good morning, good whatever you are, man. Hey, week 9 is here, man. Like, this is. They could be.
You're right. They could be.
They could be.
The
They
Cinderella
could be.
story at the end of all of this. Arlington, week 9, like you said, is here, my man. And what could week 9 really shape up to be better than week 8?
You know what? The matchups don't say that. The matchups don't say it. But
I mean, here's the thing.
Everybody knows each other.
Point.
Everybody knows each other. So anything could happen.
Yes.
Anything could change at a given moment. So, at this rate in the season, I think anything's possible. Let me not just jump off and just say, all right, the matchups we've seen, because we've said it in the past that, it could go one-sided. We could have a whole completely different sided weekend this week.
We can, and you speak about it. I know, you see on your ticker down there on the bottom, you can see it. This is the X Fan Show. We are the video cast that X out all the other podcasts. Look, you have Vegas and the Houston Roughnecks, right? Vegas has nothing to play for, so why not really show that they're decent? You know what I'm saying? You have Orlando and the Brahmas. Another big game, the Renegades versus DC, and the game that everybody's really wanting to see, the biggest game of the week, as compared to, you're right. It's going to be hard to compete with the 2 overtime games, though. And then, the biggest game that everybody's wanting to see, the Sea Dragons versus the Battlehawks. So, it's going to be very, very interesting. And as you see who's in the backstage, Arlington, walking around. Do we bring
she's doing her thing this week.
She's doing her thing. She's just walking around acting like a fool. Do we bring her on, Arlington?
Not yet.
Or do we just let her sit back there and sweat? Look at her. Just sitting back there.
Not yet.
Shaking her head, no, hating on us. Look at her. She's gonna get angry with us, Arlington.
I'll give her a couple minutes and then we'll bring her on. All right.
Give her a couple minutes to doll herself up a little.
No, I think she wants us to see her in her element. I think that's what she wanted to do.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think she was.
Here the mayor says it. Arlington, you called week 8. Welcome to the chaos. So what is week 9 going to be, Arlington?
It's going to be even more of a headache. That's what it's going to be.
So week 9 is going to be a headache.
I'm telling you, because the reason why I say that is for this reason. Like you said, Vegas don't have a lot to play for, and they go against Houston. However, if Vegas beats Houston, right? Houston will have not won a single game against the North. No,
that is true. That is true.
Right. Also, the DC game and I think somebody just posted it's almost sold out. They opened up the 200 area, which should let St. Louis fans know, hey, maybe you should open up the 400 area. Maybe.
Yeah.
You want to get as big an audience as you can for these final 2 games. You got to make yourself look really good. Plus, I want Dirty to get his 200,000 that he asked for in St. Louis. See, I'm behind you. I'm behind you on
right
this
there.
one.
Brett,
okay?
Matt says he's going to be there for the DC game. So, he's taking his daughter. Hey, that's awesome. Look, if you're a DC fan, they're really doing it. Hey, I wore the shirt last night. Hashtag fill the top. Let's do it, because St. Louis, you talk about how you're the greatest fan base. You're not even close to selling out. You're not even close to opening up the 400s. And DC is only 200 tickets away.
And this is the biggest game of the year.
Yes, they're almost 200 tickets away from having 19,000 people in their stadium.
How does the XFL drop the ball on this one? This is literally
you want me to tell you how
biggest game of the year. And you're going to tell me right now that you're not going to open up nothing, and you don't even have close to a sellout for this?
Say hi to Bert. He's all upset. Say hi to Bert.
No. Anyway, as we continue on during the show, hey, Arlington at DC is a humongous matchup as well.
She is making me sick by her walking around. She needs to stand.
All right, well, all right, bring her on, man.
Yeah, well, look at her. She's all moving around, not standing still.
Bring her on, man.
Because some of us are working out.
Okay, we doing a show here.
Listen, that's cool that we're still going to have 30,000 plus, but we've talked about how we could sell the dome out, and we haven't yet.
Oh, we will.
Well, let's hope.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Amanda. Now
this ain't. I just wanted to say hi.
That's it.
That's it.
This ain't it. I thought y'all were gonna push me off, but
push you off. No, it's going to be, but
making me have motion sickness.
Yes, stop.
I don't want to get motion sickness.
Well, it's very. Look, all right. See, this is why Amanda can't be on the Tuesdays and Thursday shows, because everybody's already chiming in. Amanda is the legend, So
hey, y'all, I'm down 5 more pounds. So say something now. This running is paying off.
Well, I'm up to 243 pounds. Just left my doctor's office. Got a bunch of news I didn't like to hear, but but that's beside the point. We'll deal.
Hey, where's the sounder? You need that. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, you need that. There you go. Because that's not good for you, sir. It's not good for you, man.
And we'll give the queen her applause for being down 5 more pounds.
That's right.
So there you go.
So we should see you. We should see you on Sunday, correct, Amanda?
Oh yeah, you'll see me on Sunday.
All right, Amanda. So Andrew's got a question. What are we calling a sellout at the Dome?
The no bullshit.
It's the daytime show.
We don't.
It's the daytime show.
It's the daytime show.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm saying around.
I'm saying a sellout for the Dome with the way that it is configured for the XFL would be 50,000. That's what I would consider a sellout.
But you can't do that unless you open up the 400 level, right? So you got to go by what's there right now, and I think that was 37,000. 37,000 plus.
But think about it. We haven't even gotten close to that since week 1. Week 1 we had 38,000, right? Right here, sellout equals St. Louis fan base by the mayor. I mean, look, the way it's set up, I would say you would have to at least sell out the entire 30 to 30 on both sides of the 400s, right? All of the 300s, and then the entire lower bowl. So that would be
Of course.
That would put you right at that put you close to 50,000.
I mean, this
Right,
is
yeah.
the game of the week, people.
I mean, it
Y'all got to
really
come out.
is.
It's the biggest. It's the biggest game of the week.
It's the
and
biggest
game of
deal
the year.
game.
Actually,
right here.
the Dome holds 67,000. Is what it holds. But it, like again,
How many do you think we'll have there?
To be
You'd be
honest,
lucky if you have 33,000 there.
Yep.
At this rate, it's a Thursday. We haven't got to Sunday yet. People like to get their tickets the day of the game, so we got to add that into the mix too. So right
Not
now,
even.
I'm saying 33,000.
You see, and the good doctor says 35 if you're lucky. I mean, listen, we've seen the decline from 38 to 35 down again, almost to just under 34. I mean, look, we should be
over 40. It
But
should be. Setting 30, including the Sea Dragon fan.
I mean, look, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying 30,000 for the second biggest game in XFL history.
Let me tell you something. You know what I'm happy I don't have to see?
What?
Are you ready for it? I don't see that.
Talking about you. He's talking about you in this case, because you're going out of town.
Looking a mess, doing his little nooch. You
You know what I might do?
You gonna be doing that in San Diego?
I am. Well, yes,
Yeah.
Andrew, that is including the floor seats and all that stuff, right? What I am going to do every time the Nooch scores a touchdown, I'm going to go live on our page, and I'm going to do the Nooch dance.
All right,
we're not gonna do that.
we'll see how long it'll be there.
It'll be there.
Yeah, listen to me. That mute button, Arlington. Let me tell you something. I can learn real fast how that works. You hear me?
Well, I just wish you'd stop walking because I'm getting motion sickness with you walking around like that.
Keep walking,
Okay, well, I'm gonna
Amanda.
sit right here. Huh?
Keep walking, because he said he getting motion sickness. I don't mind him having that.
And you're right, Matt. Either way, it is going to be a great atmosphere and a great game. To be honest, I mean, let's really look at it. Well, since Amanda's on the show, do we want to start with the Sea Dragons and the Battlehawks?
It's the game of the week, so yeah.
It's the game of the week. Listen, you have two of the most prolific offenses in the XFL going up against.
I won't go that far.
What?
Won't go that
It's
far.
always
No.
extreme. You gotta
No.
go to the extreme all the time.
No, the Gucci Danucci has not. He loves the dirty. He loves.
That don't
Hey,
even
y'all
sound
missed
right.
Yesterday's
That didn't even
show.
sound
You
right.
need to check it out because that show was
I don't need-
amazing.
That don't even sound right.
Oh, here we go. Every pick he throws, dirty. I'm gonna do the smack Nucci dance. So hey,
You gonna do
I
that?
mean, listen, if you guys remember, Amanda told us last night on the B-Hawk Live show that we have some very important people out in the secondary for the Battlehawks, with DeLuca being out and a bunch of other guys.
Alexander.
It's going to be a hard game. I mean, again, I'm going to say this. We could very well see another overtime game in this game. And again, it's going to be who holds the ball the longest, right? Now listen,
You got to be efficient when you have the ball too.
exactly. When I say, I know Matthew goes right here. He goes, "They're good offenses, not great." But here's what I mean by the two most prolific offenses. They are the two offenses that have scored the most points in the XFL.
That's a fact.
They are right there at 1 and 2, or 2 and 3. DC is the number one offense. We've seen that, right? But the way
Brett,
that DC
Breaking news.
Do we have it? Do you want me to put it
Yes,
up?
Nick Tiano has just been placed on IR. The Battlehawks have just signed Vincent Testaverde Jr.
Really?
So Vinny Testaverde's son has now been added.
He's
to
in
the
the
roster.
house. He's going to be in the house.
He's going to be in the house. We don't know if he'll be active. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be. I think Manny Wilkins is going to be the active quarterback this week
Now, good doctor.
for the Battlehawks.
Right, good doctor. That makes no sense that the turnovers will be the difference in this game, because somehow Seattle still wins with making turnovers and making a lot of them.
Oh man, because they still wind up making big plays when you got Ja'Cory Pearson and Josh Gordon.
And that's
you got to stop the both of them.
Right. That's the one thing that we've noticed in the XFL is that if you have a really good team and a really good players, turnovers in this league really haven't mattered at all on who wins or loses games at all. If you really think about it.
With Hill, it's last week.
Yeah. So, actually, I know that we did have the injury report somewhere. I can't remember where we had it at, Arlington. Didn't you have it?
I did, and I cannot find it.
I know. I got so much stuff I can't find. We got so much stuff. And that's the question: is what did happen to Reno? I have no idea. I thought he played very well.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't got the update on the injury report on Tiano.
Do you think if AJ doesn't perform this weekend, they'll be quick to take him out and put? Yeah,
they ride or die AJ.
Listen, if I'm AJ,
Coach Beck
is ride or die. Is though.
Coach Beck is ride or die AJ. They're not. Case in point, Seattle's. If didn't wait, I'm gonna tell you something, Amanda. DiNucci could throw 7 interceptions. Jim Hasler's not taking him out. Not at all.
Okay, so I found it right now. It's funny because there's nobody on the Battlehawks that has an injury report, okay? Which is weird because Amanda had read it yesterday, and there was. But, I mean, like right here, I mean, you have Colin Kelly with an ankle for the Sea Dragons, Jordan Evans with a hammy, Antoine Jackson with the knee, Daniel Joseph with, I can't read that. Is that a glute? And then Chris Smith with the illness. So
I'm going to let you read that.
Yeah, I can't read that second part. Let me zoom out.
Bunch of old folk.
Right. So, I mean, you know, if you look at it, I mean, and they say there's no Battlehawk players, but Amanda, you know, read it and saw it. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to work out for the Battlehawks because the Battlehawks need this game. And it's just as much as the Battlehawks need this game, the Sea Dragons need this game. As I've told you guys, and we've told you on this show before, right? The Battlehawks cannot lose a game if they want to make it to the playoffs. They can't go 3-1. Okay? They helped themselves last
2-1.
Well, now 2-1. I'm talking about for the last 4 games of the season. They would have had to win all out 4. Now we're at the last 2 games. They can't go 500 and make the playoffs. Now, if they beat Seattle, then they could take the chance of losing. They could take the chance of losing to Orlando with, you know, the Sea Dragons playing the Vipers, but by points and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
So, nothing against that.
What's up, Mr. Frederick? How are you, sir? So it's going to be interesting to see how this game, again, like I said, and I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it, this game is going to go down to the wire. And Fred says, yes, we're going to get 10-week chaos. Frederick says, what's up to Amanda also?
What's up?
We are going to get the chaos of this game. I wish this would be the second time in a row where the Sea Dragons have come to St. Louis, and I am not going to be there. Yeah,
Josh and Ben have divorced. I don't know. We'll see. He's gonna need them. You better revitalize that marriage and quick. Yeah, you're not gonna divorce him that quick.
Right.
Granted,
like
they got
here, what Ballhawk says won. Not an easy battle for either one of these teams. And it's really not. It's not.
I think it's gonna be a true dogfight. I would not be surprised if this was the game where it's an offensive onslaught. I would not be surprised at all.
Yeah.
Like defense can't stop the ball.
They are known for doing that. They're known for playing really, really well right out of the gate, and then they have a crap. It's like, who is this team? Like when DC came here, I didn't even know who they were. We could have played so much better than we did.
I mean, and you had to understand that we were at the beginning of the season. They played them in the first 4 weeks. I mean,
I was at that game.
Right. You was at both of them. You were at both of them. And so you didn't know in week 2 what it was going to be for them. And then when it got to week 4, you got a little bit more of an understanding. But then they started changing it up, started really running the ball. And the Battlehawks had a hard time doing that. Now, in this case, with a depleted secondary, they're going to have to make sure they can contain Blake Jackson, Josh Gordon, and Jahcour Pearson. Tall task. So it's not going to be easy for the Battlehawks this weekend against the Sea Dragons. And DiNucci can get out of the pocket and, he can make stuff happen with his feet.
His feet only.
Right. Oh, stop it. Like here, Ball Hawk want to say an over under 70.
I still would take the under. I still would take the
70.
under.
See, I went back to the stats for the last game, right? That these guys played against each other. Look, you had 65 plays for the Battlehawks, 50 for the Sea Dragons, 274 yards for the Battlehawks, 299 total yards for the Sea Dragons. This game was a very exciting game that came down to the end of the game. Neither quarterback threw neither quarterback threw an interception.
Hey, Sandy.
We had one touchdown. The Battlehawks had one touchdown. The Sea Dragons had 2. Right? Look, I could very easily, again, seeing this be a 2-point game where it's 2018, like the game before, or it goes into overtime. Very well easily seeing that. And then you add Philip Lindsay, where the crazy stat of the majority of DiNucci's interceptions have come in the red zone or the end zone. So now you've taken that away.
So that means that the Battlehawks have to stop the big play.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen a lot of big plays happen in the XFL this season. So if you're going to be able to stop them in the red zone, you got to stop the big play. Because a lot of times DiNucci is looking for that too. Anything missing, not a missed tackle, but a missed assignment, he's taking advantage of it.
And he runs, and he will run.
Right here, these two teams have seen each other already. Look for a defensive struggle. The score will be in the 20s for each team. I could very easily see that. It's going to, and then, right here, Flame Week says, don't forget the Kid Green on the Sea Dragons. He's been showing up lately. Ball Hawk right here says, I think the tight end is key for the Battlehawks in this game. Yeah. We are at the end of the season now. We've seen the teams that clicked, and it's going to be a very tight game. So, we're going to move on from this game.
Let's see how they game plan for this one here.
Right.
A lot is on the line. Right now, they are the number 2 team, St. Louis, and you want to hold on to it. You got to get your crowd within it, and then make sure you're making all plays to make sure that Seattle doesn't see the playoffs in this case, because a win for St. Louis gets them into the North Division Championship.
Mm-hmm. See, now look right here. He says Austin Pro will be a factor for St. Louis. Yes. Right here, like Matt's saying, everybody's wanting to see this game to go to overtime. And that's kind of
St. Louis fans should not want that to happen. Win it in regulation.
Here's what I'm gonna make. So we're gonna make our pick for this game. Okay, I'm gonna go first. I'm saying we go to overtime. We see our 3rd overtime in XFL history, with it going 3-2 Sea Dragons.
All right. That's what you're doing?
By the way that I was in Seattle and I saw the way they played, right? I hope I'm wrong. I literally hope I am wrong. Like right here, I can see this score. 38-36, but I'm gonna switch it, and I'm gonna say it's the Sea Dragons. That's the score I'm picking.
You think it's gonna be 74 points scored in this game?
I do. I really do. I think it's gonna be a very.
What is the over/under for this game?
I don't know, but it's like right here, like what the good doctor says. The reason for we're seeing bigger plays is due to the cornerbacks and safety positions being skilled positions. There are very limited players who can play that as well. The other ones are in the NFL. So. Look, I hope. Here, Andrew says, no, OT for St. Louis. Can only get lucky so many times. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I have a feeling that with the way the Sea Dragons are playing, with the players that they've added, and our deleted secondary and our deleted front seven.
Depleted, sir.
Whatever.
Not deleted.
Deleted. Because they are deleted. They are deleted
right now.
I'm just telling you. I have it going 2 overtime, 3-2 battle or Sea Dragons in the shootout.
Amanda.
That's my pick. Your turn.
I need your pick, ma'am.
I think it's going to be like a repeat from the last time we played them. I think, unfortunately, it might come down to a kick.
Well,
really?
We definitely know that ain't going to matter because Hegeman is terrible inside the dome. So
wow. So you got the Battlehawks with a field goal, right?
Yep, that's what I think.
Okay.
Listen, on my fantasy league, I am literally up for second place right now, and guess who's going up for first place? My dad. So if it don't come down to the championship game and it's between me and my dad on who wins, and I got Jordan as my quarterback, I'm going to have it in.
Well, wait. Okay, we're going to get to that in a second. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. But I'm going to choose St. Louis in regulation. They don't need an overtime game, and I just think they'll win by slimmest of margins. 4 points is what I got.
Hi, good. How are you?
Oh,
so sweet.
Really? Is that for me? Is that for me?
Both of you. That's for both of you.
Is that for me? Now, how you got on a Rock the Dome shirt and you gonna pick Seattle?
Because he's a naysayer.
All right, we got Arlington and DC coming up. Now, Arlington gets a win. They're practically in for the South Division Championship. Of course, Brahma fans are looking for a loss because they're hoping for a win. Because they got to play before the Renegades and Defenders play. But we're gonna use this game as the next game to choose from. Hey, you all seen what's going on with DC. DC already has a share, or they're already in the North Division Championship game right now.
Well, hold on. They're in the playoffs.
I just said they're in it. I didn't say that they won the division. I just said they're in it.
Gotcha. Whoa.
Listen sometimes, bro. Listen sometimes.
Whoa.
Hey, guess what? Viva, you don't want that to happen. You don't want it to be 75-0. Last I checked, you just sat here at the beginning of the show saying that the Brahmas are going to make a Cinderella story and they're going to get into the playoffs. But if you want that to happen, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen. However, you got to look at it from Arlington's side. Luis Perez is a game manager. He can make sure that the ball gets down the field. Don't have to take a lot of deep passes to make it work. As long as they have ball control. And I know I listen to John Hayes a lot when you watch an Arlington Renegades game, and you hear often say 11 personnel. And, I'm starting to learn that a bit. But he likes to utilize the running backs a lot before he uses wideouts. You got a guy in Lawan Washington who's done an amazing job so far with the Renegades. But now you gotta take, if you get the ball, you gotta make sure you take the defenders out of their game. And they have a lot of hits on the injury report themselves.
What have I always said? It takes one game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. It does.
Who did the DC Defenders lose to?
Okay.
The
worst
the Guardians
in the league right now. It
motion
only
sickness.
takes one game.
That's true.
DC could be out the first week of the playoffs. So sorry, you can't count any team in the XFL out right now.
I'm not disagreeing with it. But what I am seeing is that DC has taken a huge hit for injuries.
Right, like
it's
right
out
here,
there.
what Matthew said. This league is wide open, which it actually is. It has been very awesome. Right here, I mean, listen, over the last 4 weeks, Jordan Ta'amu's passing has really became phenomenal. Right?
Dope.
I mean, look, I'll put it up again like we showed last night, and you could thank this to the mayor. You could thank this to the mayor right here. No, not that one. I want to go with this. If you go by the entire league or whatever of all-time players and all of that in the 3 seasons, Jordan Ta'amu is the all-time passing leader in the 3 years of the XFL's incarnation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to just this year alone, Jordan Ta'amu is at just under over 1,000 yard passing with 11 touchdowns. With 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. You want to talk about a game manager? Jordan Ta'amu might be the best game manager in the XFL. He doesn't turn the ball over. He doesn't have a lot of holes in his game, right? Listen, you could say that it's my man crush all you want.
For the
Mr.
first
Jeremy.
time, I actually do agree with you. Wah, wah, wah.
But listen, I mean, you could say what you want, but a better manager than Luis Perez, I would have to say yes. I'd literally have to say this. AJ McCarron is a great player. Is AJ McCarron we'll put up Matt's comment. AJ McCarron, he's oversailed a lot of balls. To players.
AJ's not consistent. That's his problem. Jordan has been consistent throughout the whole season. AJ, I don't think, has been consistent.
Exactly. And I mean, like right here what Viva Texas says, and also not hindered by Bob Stoops. But again, Luis Perez, was he really being hindered by Rod Woodson? No, I disagree. I disagree that AJ will be your MVP. The MVP of this league, and I've said it from the beginning, and I'll keep saying it to the end, is going to be Abram Smith. Abram Smith is the MVP of this league.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down.
Let's say these last 2 games, Jordan has 2 big weekends. Are you putting him in the MVP conversation? Let's just say he balls out. Abram Smith don't get the ball a lot, rushing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He throws for 4 touchdowns in the next 2 games, so 8 touchdowns. You shutting him out of the MVP conversation?
Amanda, put your headphones on. I keep hearing Arlington. Ooh, man. That's a good. Okay, I'm gonna remove her because she's got me all dizzy. Ooh, God, that's a tough question.
Are you throwing him out of the conversation? If he has big games, because each week, if you haven't seen it, these last couple of weeks, he has a big game, right? Abram Smith ain't done the best.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
It's not as big as it was before. It's not like the 218 that he ran, even though I don't think nobody's going to run for 200 yards again for a while in the XFL. But my point is that propelled him up the list. But Jordan keeps getting better each and every game.
Yeah, like right here. I mean, Matt Vermer says that these last 2 weeks can decide the MVP. Hands down. It really can. I mean, look, if Jordan does have what he's had over the last couple games, like, I mean, here, prime example with the Seattle game. Amanda, that wind is terrible.
I know. I'm going to peace out because I keep doing that.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
Amanda, give us your picks real quick. DC or the Renegades?
Do you want to really know who I want to win?
Just say somebody.
Just pick. Hurry up.
DC is going to win.
Okay,
Orlando
DC.
and San Antonio.
Orlando, San Antonio.
San Ann.
All right. And Vegas, Houston.
I want to go Vegas on this one.
Ooh,
All right. All right.
Okay.
All right. See you later, Amanda.
Bye, guys. Sorry.
All right. Okay, so, man, Arlington, I mean, God. Oof.
But like I told you, with the DC game, are you really going to sit here and tell me that if Jordan Ta'amu, your man crush, has 2 big games these next 2 weeks, you're going to overlook him for the MVP race?
No.
Exactly.
No,
You're not going to do it.
Because
You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it.
The last 3 games, the dude is thrown for over 600 yards, no interceptions.
And he's been efficient. He's been efficient. That's the thing. Of course, he's not going to get looked at as a game manager because he's been efficient.
Yeah.
He's done well with Lucky Jackson and Chris Blair. Great to have a receiver like a Lucky Jackson, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've been helping him out tremendously.
Now, here the mayor says that the DTOs are the ones who vote on season's awards. Matthew says that Dirty's new tattoo will be Jordan and the Nooch hugging each other. I mean, look, he says quarterbacks are the leaders of their teams. The XFL wants a QB to be the MVP. It's not going to be AJ McCarron. It's not.
If he does well enough where they can lead him into the playoffs, I agree with that statement.
Then we go right back to the Jordan conversation.
But again, it leads to who's going to do well in those last 2 weeks of the season.
Ooh, here we go. Look, Jedi Master Battlehawk says it's going to be an underdog weekend. Not sure who's projected for Seattle or St. Louis. Vipers by 15, Orlando by 10, Renegades by 7, and Battlehawks by 3. Wow.
That is a true underdog weekend.
Wow.
I hope you're not making those bets.
That's going to be interesting.
I hope you're not making that type of bets, man.
Yeah. I mean, look, the way that Abram Smith has played, right? Because at the beginning of the season, Jordan wasn't really – he was still trying to figure it out, right? And Abram Smith led that team, right? Mm-hmm. And since week 5, Jordan has really started to become the leader of his team. I mean,
right.
You can't not putting money on it, he says. Ballhawk 1 says bet the house. I mean, you got to remember, Jordan wasn't even considered in the top. He was like the last guy in the XFL for quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
And just in these last games, I mean, the dude's over 1,400 yards, 10 touchdowns, or 14 touchdowns and 1 interception.
Why they got him down for 10?
I know. They still haven't updated these stats. They updated that, but they haven't updated his maybe it is 10 intercept. Maybe it is 10 touchdowns then. Okay, maybe it is.
It might be 10.
But I mean, look, and you have AJ who's got 17 out of 14, right? I mean, I'd much rather go with the guy who's got the less touchdowns.
That's a good thought right there. With Derek King coming in, that could potentially hurt him.
I mean, look, and the mayor said it right here. Preseason odds had DC in last place. And Reggie Barlow basically said, kiss my ass, my team's going to be in first place.
He threw the fingers up at Al. He said, hey, I'm going to show you better than I could.
You know, I mean, yeah, and I mean, Matt says it right here. A running game like DC will make any QB better. You know? If you had to pick 2 players from each team. All right, we'll do that.
Oh, well, we'll do that at the end.
We can do that next week. I mean, I do like that one. I mean,
save that for next week, Brian.
I don't see or the Renegades. I mean, even though Jordan is going up against his 0-2 head coaches, right? This is a different type of Jordan Ta'amu that we're seeing from 2020.
Mm-hmm. It is
completely different. And look, I know I talk a lot of trash on the Chiefs and all of that stuff, but we've had Jordan on this show, and we asked him what was it like studying under Mahomes and Andy Reid, and he goes, that showed me the patience that I needed. It showed me how to study an actual film, how to study games and stuff, right? I right now, I just think Jordan is the smartest player in the XFL at the QB position.
And the reason is Fred Koss, his offensive coordinator.
Yes, play into his strengths.
Knew what to do with Jordan Ta'amu. Granted, Chuck Long didn't know back in 2020. Just thought that, he had a good arm and he could get out of the pocket when he needed to. But when I say Fred had literally worked with him, and I no disrespect to Chuck because he may have done the same, but there's a different type of thinking that he has when he's out on the field. Mm-hmm. He's not rattled. Even when he takes hits, he's not rattled. You know what I mean?
I don't think this matters that AJ will likely return to this team. And we don't know Abrams won't be back. He might get picked up. So it doesn't make sense to have AJ as your MVP.
No, if you're gonna have Abram Smith as the MVP, then it'll be the same situation like Avante Turpin with the USFL. As soon as he got the MVP, he was gone.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
That can happen. That
I mean,
can happen
listen,
here.
And Jordan led the USFL in passing yards, but he didn't win the MVP. He was second to Turpin.
And that's because his team wasn't that great either.
Well, right, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. This is something totally different, But look, I mean, here, I'm going to make two speculate. Well, I'm going to give you my pick. Defenders beat the Renegades, right? And
same here.
My speculation is we're going to see number 10, probably, I'm just going to speculate it tomorrow, standing there in his DC jersey with the proud 10 saying, XFL jerseys drop today on Friday. Jordan is going to be the guy. Jordan is going to be the guy who's going to introduce your jerseys for the XFL.
All right, Ball Hog 1. See you out.
Yeah, I say you can ask who Turpin is. If you didn't watch the USFL, then that's fine. Turpin was possibly the best. I mean, he is Jay Peasy. Jay Peasy is the Devon Turpin of the XFL.
And they didn't name not one single quarterback the MVP.
No, exactly. So I'm going DC with Jordan Ta'amu tomorrow. This dirty speculation, dropping the jerseys.
I'm still keeping my AJ pick though, even though the fact that the fact remains the same. It doesn't have to be a quarterback.
Well, if you didn't watch the USFL, then you missed. The USFL didn't suck. It was actually some really good quality football. I watched about 6 weeks of the NFL that had some very, very terrible playing, and that was probably from like week 14 to week 17. So that's all I'm saying. The USFL had some very good quality football.
It said it can happen, but not taking anything from Avon, but he does play right running back with a position expendable to say the least. Yes, I understand.
Yeah. And here's what I'm saying about Abram Smith. Why I'm saying he is the MVP. This dude only played running back 1 year. Holds the record at Baylor. This dude could break the record for all-time rushers in the XFL. That's what. So oh no, it was some piss poor football from week 14 to week 17 in the NFL. Piss poor.
And plus, even though the Abram Smith has like a 300-yard lead right now, I still don't see it happening though. I still don't see it happening unless he get 1,000 yards rushing. Then he'll get it.
Yeah, look, right here, DC doesn't make mistakes. And Arlington only wins on turnovers and points scored on the defense. You're absolutely
they taking a hit on defense themselves.
Uh-huh.
When you lose your leading tackler, Donald Payne, for the season, that's key when you're trying to get a playoff berth.
So you're going DC then.
DC.
All right.
I'm sticking with DC here.
So those are our Sunday games.
So that means DC winning can open up. It can open up for San Antonio.
That is absolutely true, which leads us into our primetime game on Saturday. Orlando Guardians versus the Brahmas.
Orlando doesn't have a lot to play for, but they can play spoiler with this one against San Antonio. Granted, Dormady didn't play his best in a time they needed him to do it, but this is going to be a revenge game of sorts. You got to understand, hey, looking at San Antonio, it's like, hey, we can't get in. You can't get in either.
Now, let's go back to week 2. Again, it seems like a lot of week 2 matchups we're getting here, Arlington. The Brahmas and the Guardians played week 2, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's a good point right here. The XFL needs players to be used as spokespersons and to put on billboards. Jordan and AJ fit that perfectly. That's why you're going to see Jordan Ta'amu is the one that's going to be breaking the jerseys tomorrow. That's dirty speculation. Now, mind you, San Antonio scored their most points all season and rolled the Orlando Guardians 30-12.
Okay. And granted, at the time, it was Jack Cohn as the quarterback.
Yes, that is true.
So
that is true.
And you thinking history is going to repeat itself? That's what you hope.
I don't think it's going to be 30-12.
There was a lot of sloppy play, but this is a different Orlando team. I don't think 12 points is going to be what they're going to put on the scoreboard. It's going to be a lot more difficult for them than you think.
Mm-hmm. I like this one right here. Orlando and San Antonio, a great game on sloppy play.
This is what the crazy thing is. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring in this game. It's going to sound crazy, but wilder things happen when bad teams get together.
That is true. Now, listen, if Quentin Dormady, goes out like he did against DC, then they're going to beat San Antonio, okay? But the only thing that has kept San Antonio in any of their games has been their stellar play on defense.
That's a fact. That is not a lie, man.
So this one for me is kind of a toss-up because of their offense.
Right, because the same thing can be said about Orlando and their defense.
Right.
Orlando,
yeah.
like man said, they have no defense.
Stop the clock. Hold on. Listen. You gotta listen. We gotta ring the bell on this one, right?
These awkward pauses is killing me, man. What are you gonna say?
Because I just don't know what to say on this. I don't want to be critical of Jawan Pass, but I don't think he
plays. I don't think he's playing.
No, it's kind of like how Dirty's doing right now with my awkward pauses. He's just not very mentally up there for the game. And listen, I told you guys from the get-go, the good doctor was you talk about me being on the Danuge and Jack Cohn and on Jordan Ta'amu. Arlington and the good doctor have been all over Jack Cohn's jock strap, sniffing and smelling it. Talking about
no, he hasn't. No, he hasn't.
He's about
the A-Train has not. The A-Train has not.
He's about 2 shades of a bum. You know what I mean? I mean, okay, here, I'll go back to it. Somebody asked us about Vinny Testaverde.
What?
I mean, what is there? Yeah, he signed.
A roster spot. It's a roster spot. But that's it.
He's not going to play. So I feel bad for him because he's not going to get the tape that he wants to get him into the NFL.
Not this week.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, hopefully he plays next week and does a good job. I mean, his dad was a terrible quarterback, lifetime backup quarterback. So
he wasn't no lifetime backup.
Vinny Testaverde was pretty shitty.
Don't tell that to Coach Beck. I bet you won't say that to Coach Beck's face.
No, you make a bet I won't.
Yeah.
Do you know who you're talking to?
Uh-huh.
Do you know who you're talking to?
I do.
Will say it in a heartbeat. I will say it in a heartbeat. So, whatever. I mean, so look, he's not going to play. Maybe he'll play next week, but I doubt it. Yeah, okay, but yeah, whatever. That was when, whatever. Vinny Testaverde's terrible. I mean, he was just a step above Mark Sanchez.
All right, listen.
Yeah, look.
Check it out. All right. Orlando, San Antonio, you see bad defense, bad offense from another, good defense, good offense.
That's not true. That is not true.
That's the toss-up.
The furthest thing about Vinny Testaverde.
I could care less about that, man.
Furthest thing. Vinny Testaverde was Tony Banks.
No.
Tony Banks.
Don't ever put them two in the same
Tony Banks.
sentence
That's
again.
what he was.
Don't ever put them two in the same sentence again.
Tony Banks.
Hey, that's a fact. That's a fact. St. Louis loses.
That's
Testaverde
true.
not
That's
playing.
true.
The only way Testaverde plays is if McCarron gets knocked out.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
We're gonna make the assumption in this case. We're gonna make the assumption that AJ is back this week. He just needed a week off for some rest, and that's what this is all Coach Beck. That's all Coach Beck.
Easter.
Really? Banks is the new Spurrier? Is that what we doing now? Right. You sat here and said freaking Tony Banks. Hey, man, Tony's a good dude. Got the chance to interview him and whatnot.
Nice guy, but he's just a terrible quarterback.
But,
nice guy.
I
mean, listen.
No, the equivalent is RG3 with Tony Banks. That's what you leave that at.
No, Vinny Testaverde. Listen, Tim Tebow's a nice guy, but a terrible quarterback.
Okay.
So
who you picking this week? You said you have a hard time picking because I want you to pick. You want me to pick first then? You want me to pick first?
Yeah, I mean, look, right here, Herb said it, that the Brahmas was better last week. Yeah, you pick.
You scored 15 points. That's better? 15 points? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, just to let you know, I'm choosing Orlando. Orlando this week for me. Dorothy's going to ball out in that dome. I'm looking forward to seeing Jermaine Martin make some plays, especially Cody Latimer, who's going to stop him. I know that should be a job for Luke Barkley. That should be a job for Luke Barkley.
Hold on, stop. I'm not an animal lover. I don't like any animals, so I could care less if Tony Banks is an
animal. Dude, who cares? Did you make the pick? You letting your boy mess you up right now.
No, I'm not. This game is messing me up.
Orlando. That's right. I said Orlando. Come join me on the dark side, Dirty. You have no problem doing that.
The next game, Houston versus the Vipers.
Hey, guess what? You can play it all you want. I'm going to come back to this question.
I think I've already answered who I think's going to win.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I figured. Orlando's winning this week.
God, I
know it.
As much as I hate to agree. I hope I'm wrong, but oh God, I am
Orlando, baby.
Try if Orlando
upset wins. City. Hey, it's gonna help Arlington get into the playoffs, win or lose.
Baby, no. You know what? I'm sticking to it. I've said it. I'm sticking to it. The Brahmas are gonna win.
You got the Brahmas. Oh, okay.
I have a feeling that that Pass might finally get out of his head and learn the playbook and actually.
No, I'm just telling the truth this time.
Please.
Look. You hope it because you want to join me over here.
Please, we already know. Antonio, please. I just beg of you. Don't lose to Orlando, please.
Hey.
Please don't lose to Orlando. Please.
I just turn around. See? I tried. You could have joined me, man, but you chose to do that to yourself.
Oh, God. It's going to be hard.
The very first game, Vegas and Houston.
Oh, stop. Paxton Lynch is terrible. Shut up. I don't want to hear any more about Paxton Lynch.
But look, you chose San Antonio.
I know. Look, Brian, I finally jumped on the bandwagon with you with Juwan Pass.
But Paxton Lynch, I bet you Paxton Lynch is the starter.
Oh, God, please, God, no. Heavenly Father.
I bet you Paxton Lynch is the starter.
Stop. Hold on.
No, you stay with your pick.
Hold on, dear baby Jesus, in your sweet golden fleece diaper, and all of your high and mighty glory, please do not let the very entertaining capri-wearing yellow sunglasses Hines Ward start Paxton Lynch. Sweet baby Jesus laying there with your masculine flowing baby hair. Please start Juwan Pass so we have a chance to beat Orlando. Thank you, sweet, innocent.
Hey, Jack Cone is still on the roster.
Please, just born baby Jesus in your golden fleeced robe. Do not start Jack Cone either. He played for Notre Dame, which was a terrible school and a terrible quarterback. Please, sweet baby Jesus.
The end of the season, we'll talk about that.
We'll
talk about that at the end of the season.
Pass. None. We'll talk about it right now. None.
Right. Hey, Herb, no. Because a lot of people, okay, the reason why that's being said is, of course, Houston and San Antonio. And if you heard the Smoking Guns podcast, I really do not want to see the Roughnecks in San Antonio play a
I
third
do.
time.
I do.
I do not.
I do. I do. I do.
Nope. Hey,
Wait,
Herb,
hold on,
I'm being honest. It's
Please,
true. It's true.
please.
I don't want the Roughnecks to see.
Hold on. Please, sweet baby Jesus, lay
Okay,
there in your manger.
I'm going to mute you if you keep going, man.
Please let San Antonio and Houston play for the XFL South Championship. Then we moved on. They move on to go to the championship game in San Antonio with all of your sweet baby Jesus powers that you have. They go and play the Battlehawks in week 1, and then the Brahmas beat the Battlehawks for the championship. Did you just hear what I said?
I heard everything that you just said. You're looking for a true Cinderella story here.
I really am, because this is really what this XFL season has been about. It ain't been about their marketing, because their marketing has sucked. This has literally been about these people who are here, who are watching us on a Tuesday afternoon or a Thursday afternoon, who watch us on a Tuesday afternoon, who watch us on a Wednesday, who watch the Mark Perrys,
Come on,
the
Ann.
Wisconsins, all of those guys.
Come on, Ann. That's wrong.
You know, this is what it's been about. This is what this league has been about. It's just the Cinderella stories and all of these guys getting the second chances that they're getting to make it to where they need to be.
I swear, right? Matt, that is the correct answer here.
Exactly.
The North Final is going to probably be better than the actual championship itself. Case in point, did you watch the national championship?
Yeah, exactly. No, what's this, Brian? In all seriousness, what if that actually happens? Paxton Lynch will not start.
If Paxton Lynch is the guy that gets San Antonio over the hump, I'm going to lose it.
Listen, do I need to pray to baby Jesus again? Do I need
do that after the show?
Okay, all right. Look, I'm sticking with it. The San Antonio Brahmas are beating the Orlando Guardians. Now, we go to the game.
If he's that crazy enough, if Wade is crazy enough to do it, but they still got to win. They still got to win against Vegas.
I would love it. The two most passionate fan bases.
That means St. Louis got to show up. May 13th.
That is true.
They got to show up. If you can say they're the greatest fan bases, they got to show up in San Antonio.
Herb says, what is this? Houston is going to sit
but they still have to beat Vegas first. Vegas is not a game here.
I mean, listen, Seattle could lose their next 2 games. Listen, the team that's disappointed me the most has been Vegas because of the players that they've had with Martavius Bryant, right? Vic Beasley.
Yeah.
That was poised to be a really good team. Now, McLennan, who's been playing well as of late, has been doing a great job as their quarterback. You know, I mean, Houston's got some guys that are hurt. And I mean, love them or hate them, you know, I know that I was, you know, it's funny because everybody always talks about how I was on, you know, DiNucci's jock and Jordan's jock. But if you remember in the beginning of the season, I was on Brandon Silvers because of how well he was playing.
Bo Callahan.
The Bo Callahan of the XFL. I was on his stuff. But I mean, if you look, like I said, the good mayor had put some stuff up on it, right? And
this is not true. You can say that about Vegas. You can say that about San Antonio. You can say that about Orlando. How in the hell Reggie Barlow and Anthony Beck? Well, granted, Reggie Barlow has been a head coach, but this is his first professional. But how in the hell Anthony Beck 6-2, and he's not an experienced head coach?
Yeah, I mean, let's
miss me with that.
Right. Let's look at.
But Vegas and Houston.
Yeah, Brandon Silvers in 7 games, 1,400 yards, over 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Well, Seattle was my preseason favorite. The 2 teams that are actually in first place in both divisions were picked to be dead last. In Houston and DC. But they are the top 2 teams in their divisions, right? But the way that Houston has been playing as of late,
It's been rough.
I'll
And
take the
even though
word
they
for it.
even though they eked out the win against San Antonio in overtime, which that game should have never went there, but
It's true.
it did. So they've struggled the last 4 games. And you're going against a Vegas team that's
Who's got
hungry
nothing.
and got nothing to play for. All they want to do is play spoiler and cause more chaos, which I love. But the fact this time it's a Houston team that I don't want it to be on. But if they do lose and the Renegades just happen to eke out a win, that makes the Brahma game even bigger. If Houston loses to Vegas, the Brahma game is bigger that night.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. And I'm going to say this. I have a feeling oof. I mean, Vegas has not won on the road yet. Okay?
Those are the standings, but go ahead.
Vegas has not won on the road yet. Okay? 2 of their wins have come with South teams against the South, right?
Yes.
You
talking about Vegas' 2 wins?
Yes. Chaos. You're absolutely right. I'm saying Vegas wins. I say Vegas gets their first road game.
I'm sticking with Houston, but even though if the chaos happens, I'm not going to be upset about it. I'm picking Houston. So they have to play pretty much a complete game. You have to utilize the 2 quarterbacks if needed. So, and I think my biggest MO is they need to utilize rushing the ball more. They haven't done that. They've been dependent on passing a lot. They had a very poor job on rushing in the last.
Think about it though. You have Martavius Bryant.
No, I'm talking about Houston's case.
Oh, gotcha.
But that is all because of the defense. The defense has been able to get the ball closer to the end zone for them. Getting fumble recoveries, sacks, interceptions. Shout out to Trayvon Mason, who had a great fumble. A great interception return, but he was pissed off because he didn't get the touchdown because of Jack Cole. Thank you. But
if you see it there, go on, finish your point.
Yeah. I see it. My thing is, defense is going to have to get back into the high gear, but defense has been in high gear, but the offense have to be back. Like, what's happening to AJ Smith? What's going on, man? Like, I understand your team is taking a big hit with Jonte Kirkland being out, but you still have other playmakers. You got Deontay Burnett, Cedric Byrd. Start utilizing more of those running backs, Max Borghi and Bryson Aline. He's a fast guy. You need to utilize him. Got to start implementing more on that rush attack. I know you're trying to be like June Jones because that was your mentor, but sir, you got to change this up. You got to have a whole different aspect if you're trying to help lead this team into a division championship.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with you. I'm still going to go with Vegas. And like Matt says right here, if you want the chaos, you want Vegas, Seattle, San Antonio, and DC to win. And that's kind of what I want to happen. But, just like, Baggett has been out late. Yeah.
They've been out.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I'm saying Vegas. I have a feeling Vegas wants to play spoiler to do this. And then you do that, the South is completely wide open again. Nice. Thanks for joining us. But, we do got to go because we are in overtime. So, Arlington, you're going Houston, Guardians, DC, and Battlehawks this week.
Correct.
So, Dirty is going Vegas, Brahmas, DC, and Seattle in overtime this week. Is how I am going.
Fun times ahead, y'all.
So, shit, I'm going like what Matt just said. I want the chaos. Vegas, Seattle, San Antonio, and DC. As much as I want St. Louis to win, I want to see how this tiebreaker thing is going to go. So, and guys, remember, my speculation tomorrow, number 10 will be wearing a jersey saying, hey, buy your XFL jerseys on XFL Shop tomorrow. Dirty speculation. Dirty speculation. We will hit over 450,000 fans this weekend in attendance for the entire season. The entire season, we are going to hit over 450,000 fans. Yeah, and especially with the season and everything going, it's going to be fun to see. Week 10 is going to be crazy. Brian, we will answer your questions on who do we think for MVPs. Nate, you can say whatever you want about thanks to St. Louis. It doesn't matter. That's the way we can't support this league. So go put a woman in between a car like those other two douchebags did. With that being said, I am Dirty. Right over there.
A-Train.
The one and only.
Hey, make sure you go to YouTube today and you can subscribe at X-Fan Show. Hey, you can find us on Pro Football Alliance YouTube channels and on Facebook, and also, of course, our X-Fan Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube channels are where we at. All right, enjoy Week 9. Dirty, I will catch you. I'll see you next week, brother. But hey, Week 10, man, we almost here.
Chaos. We want chaos.
Yes,